Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together, putting on our makeup and learning a Bible memory verse. We'll review the one from last week as well. Our foundation verse from this podcast is going to be Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And so we're just going to be enjoying Jesus together today with some beauty on the outside and some beauty on the inside. So our verse from last week was, "For it is by grace you are saved," or we are saved. Ephesians 2:8, excuse me. So the verse that we're going to be working on this week is going to be, "For everything there is a time." And that one comes from Ecclesiastes 3:1. That's where I got the Ecclesiastes from a second ago. And so our coloring page for this week is going to look like this right here. I cannot wait to see what you do with that. I love the picture on there because it reminds me of a cuckoo clock. And when I was a little kid, we lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and we had a cuckoo clock that hung on, if I remember correctly, was the kitchen wall. And so this week's picture just kind of brings back some special memories to me. So today, our theme is going to be the Rainbow Berry Airhead Extremes. Have you ever had that candy? If you have not, I'm going to put a link in the show notes, so make sure you check that out and try some. First time I ever had it was at a movie theater, and I got addicted ever since. So you can get them on Amazon too, so I'll put the link in there too. So you can do this particular look with a light, a dark, and then two kind of, I guess you call them medium colors, sort of light medium. So we're just going to get along and play with this today. Let me get our verse scrolling. Oh, you know what? Let me actually come back over here because I just realized that I do not have the scrolling graphic ready for you. So give me 2 seconds and I will get that ready for you. Let me just paste that in. Okay, and we should be good to go now. Alrighty, there you go. Nothing like a little technology glitch early in the morning. Okay, so we're going to have that Bible verse scrolling across the bottom of your screen there. Man, my hair has gone a little something crazy today, hasn't it? All right, let me get the chat turned on. There we go. So if you have any question, no matter what platform you're visiting on today, have a question, put it in the chat, and I'll see it here, and I'll do my best to get it answered online for you right now. If not, I'll do a follow-up later in the week, and we will take a look at that together. Okay, so let's start out with our basics. This is going to be the all-nighter face primer from Urban Decay, and we are literally just going to use one pump, and that is going to do our whole face. So you're going to get between those two fingers, kind of get it together, and we are going to blend that out. This is going to help even out any skin texture. It is going to help your foundation to wear better. You notice I also used it around my lips too. It'll help your lipstick not bleed out too. So just so many good things with that particular primer. Has a little bit of tack to it, so like I said, it's going to help your foundation not to shift and move. You shouldn't see any of those little like line things happening. All right, so let's move on to our concealer. So this is the It Cosmetics by Under Eye. I am the shade 11 Light Nude. This one does a little better when it is warmed up. So we are going to use just a small ribbon of that. And that is all we're going to need to do the entire face. So I'm going to start out with all of your trouble spots. So for me, it's going to be darkness under the eyes here. We got some redness up here. There we go. I'm just going to blend that out with my finger first. Make sure you're using your middle finger so you're not using too much pressure. I'm going to use it almost like an eye primer here. And then for today, I got some little thing happening right there. So we're just going to put that there too. All right, so we're going to put that there, let that warm up a little bit. So let's just say that verse together while we're waiting for that to happen. So for everything, there is a time, and that is Ecclesiastes 3:1. So while you're putting on your makeup, even when you're not online with me, just say that verse repeatedly through the application. By the end of the time, every day you're going to have a moment where you put in some time kind of getting that verse into your heart. Okay, so I am using the Real Techniques Miracle Airblend sponge. I'm going to use the pointy tip for the concealer. So we're just going to get that and blend that out. This is just going to even out that skin color first. Then when we put our foundation on, it'll help it to do its job better. Okay, now we're kind of even out just a little bit. We're going to move to our foundation. Good morning. I can hear dinging happening over there. Okay, so this is the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. I am the shade 225 Neutral. So we're, this one they reformulated, and so now it has a little bit SPF in there. That's awesome, because now I don't have to put that on extra. So we're going to use some partial pumps. Literally, it's just going to be little partial pumps. And we're just going to work our way around our face. And no, it doesn't matter what area you start in first, as long as you start and you catch every part of your face. Yeah, I've seen that like drippy thing where they go like, yeah, you don't need to do it. If you like to buy makeup and use extra product for no reason, then, you know, do the squirty thing. No need for that though. Looks cool. Makes a great video. And when we do our foundation, we're going to blend just up to that concealer we used on the under eye area. I got new contacts yesterday, and so it's kind of weird being able to actually see while I'm doing this. And again, just going right up to that concealer. And then I like to blend out underneath the jawline here, so we can get a nice, smooth, even blend out to the neck. You want to do this maybe with little shorter strokes if you're wearing like a turtleneck or something, because you don't want to end up with that makeup transfer, which can possibly happen in an all-day kind of situation. So we're just going to blend that out. And lastly, we are going to do our forehead. I'm going to hold my Delilah back. Yes, my mohawk has a name. Her name is Delilah. No, I don't know where the name came from. I don't know. She just told me. I guess kind of like how, you know, a dog or a cat will name themselves, or maybe your car. I don't know. Just one day I'm sitting there having a conversation with my hair while I'm trying to fix it. And she informed me with that much personality, she needed a name, and her name was Delilah. All right. So now we have got our foundation on, concealer primed. So let's go ahead and set that foundation. I am using the Lancôme Long Time No Shine. Love this setting powder. Yes, another good one is going to be the Laura Mercier. If you do not have combination skin and oil control is not a concern for you, please try the Laura Mercier. I think you'll super like that. Yeah, the loose one comes in 3 different shades. You've got the neutral, then neutral, translucent, and then there's the honey, which is kind of a mid shade, and then you've got the deep. All right, so we're going to start out under the eye area. And we're just going to tap that in. Gotta love it when you spill it down the front of your shirt. Hence the reason I am never dressed when I put my makeup on. Okay, am I the only one that spills stuff on myself, or is it you too? Okay, good. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Okay, well, it doesn't appear that I'm as messy as some. All right, and the last thing we're gonna do is set our forehead here. And we're just kind of pressing into that foundation that we put there. Not a lot of that kind of thing. Just more tapping in, pressing in. Okay. We are going to move on to some contouring now. Let's just go ahead and say our verse together today. It's kind of a short one, so let's just get it in as many times as we can. So, for everything, there is a time. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Ecclesiastes 3:1. All right, on to the contouring. I'm going to start out with the NARS. This is the Laguna 2, which was their original color. I am using this brush here, which is an It Cosmetics. This is actually a foundation brush, but I love this for contouring. So this flat end I like to use here for the bronzer, and then this fluffy end I use for the highlighter. So we're going to start out with that bronzer, and we're going to be using the flat side. And just above where the recess of your cheekbone is there, you're going to go just above that. Kind of in a little bit of a scooping sort of lift that area. Nice. There you go. And still using the flat side, we're going to just give it a couple swipes, work into the hairline there. And now we're going to move to the little edge of it. So the edge here, we're going to work under the jawline. There you go. Still using the edge of that, we're going to sculpt our nose. All right. Now we're going to be using the MAC. This is the Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish. Like this one because it has a little bit of a shine. You get a little shine on there. You can kind of see it glowing a little bit, but it's not excessive. This is definitely not what I would call glittery. It's just a sheen. Okay, so using the end, we're going to go right along the top of the cheekbone here and then up the side of the brow. Couple swirls, same thing on the other side. And now we're going to move down the center of the face, making sure we hit that Cupid's bow right there. All right. For our blush, we are going to be using the Juvia's Place Blushed Volume 4. And I am going to be using, given the intensity of the shadows that we're going to be using today, I'm going to use this one here. Now, this one is a very pigmented blush, so you really only need a little bit. So using a blush brush, this one is a MAC. I have no idea what number. It's a MAC blush though. So I'm just going to tap, tap, and that will be enough. We're going to work between the bronzer and the highlighter. And then between those two, up the temple. Yeah, seriously. I mean, start out with a lighter tap because you can always add more. But once you got too much on there, you can have to start all over again. Here we go, up between the temple. And then you really don't need to add any more to this, but we're going to go along that hairline there, bring it down just a smidge, into the nose, center of the chin, and just a little tiny bit. Now it does look like I got a little carried away, so we're just going to come back with that bronzer, back with that highlighter. There you go. Just go back over it again. That will fix any disaster that you have done. So let's move to our, well, actually, let's say our verse because now it's our verse time. So here we go. Scrolling across the bottom of your screen. For everything, there is a time. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Okay, so for lips today, I'm keeping it a little bit simple because there's going to be a lot be happening on the eyes. So I am using the NYX. This is the retractable lip liner in pink. love this one because you don't have to sharpen it. Riding right on the edge of that lip. And then come in with just a little bit lighter pressure. Even out that liner. This will help to extend the wearability of your lipstick. Okay, need to even out. Okay. Once you have got your shape exactly like you want it, I am going to be using, this is the MAC, I believe this is the, what is this one? The Retro Matte in Flat Out Fabulous. Love this color, as you can tell by how much I have left. So you probably don't need it pushed out that much. I'm going to start out with the Cupid's bow and work our way around. Yes, in this particular case, I do like to have the lipstick go all the way to the edge of the lip liner. Now, if I was doing an ombre or something like I have done with some other looks, maybe not so much then, but with this time, yes. And then because our lip liner matched the shade of our lipstick, we've just got a uniform, nice pink color as a foundation. Okay, so now the fun starts. We are going to be playing with the, oh, what was the name of that candy again? The Rainbow Berry Airhead Extremes. Okay, so I am going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Culture 2 palette. And here's where we're going to be living today. So the candy colors, it has yellow, kind of a pinky red color, blue, and green. So we're going to start out with a foundation of Waroba and Delta. And then we're going to use a little, was it Batik? And then Logos. And then Jolliffe, which one is Jolliffe? Right here. And that's going to be like what our pinky reddy color is. Okay, so we're going to start out first with just an all-over shadow brush, in this case, aka concealer brush. And we're going to begin in that Waroba, which is that yellow color. So just get a little on your brush there. We're going to work on that brow bone. I know it's a little crazy, but just hang with me. Wait till the very end before you make your decision. Now, you can do this with any colors. This would be whatever your light shade is. That is definitely a shade. All right. And then we are going to get just a traditional shadow brush, and we're going to use that color Delta, which is that dark blue. And we're just going to do the whole lid in the Delta. Well, not the whole lid, 3/4. This is just going to give us a foundation color so that the shadows we're using, because they're shimmers, will be able to do their job a little easier. So this is just kind of almost like a primer color. And we're just going to go right up to that Waroba and just kind of blend it out a little. You don't need to get like super fanatic about it because you're fixing to go over it. Correct. I mean, you could do this with any eyeshadow palette. I just know the Juvia's Place, they wear super well. They're very pigmented. They're affordable. Love the colors. So, I mean, use what you got. These are the colors that we're working with. So you can pull up that palette. Use the link in the show notes and pull up that palette on Amazon, and then you can see what you have that's kind of close to it. Okay, so like I said, don't worry too much about the blending out right now because we're getting ready to get onto that. Okay, so go ahead and either use a different shadow brush or just dust off the one that you just used. And we are going to begin by using the Batik. The Batik is the kind of green color. So we're going to load that one, and we're going to go to the inside of the eye here. And this is going to be our mid shade. And you can see how using that blue on the underneath really helps that green to be able to pop and to look more green. This green is just so pretty. So we're just going to go kind of in a shape here, and then from the corner to about mid, and then just out a little bit. There you go. Same thing on the other side, all the way to the corner. Just going to bring that through the crease almost all the way to the outside edge, and then blend that down to about halfway next to the lid line there. There we go. And then almost all of the blue with that. And that is our green for our candy. So fun. All right, now we're going to switch brushes. I am going to use an angled shadow brush on this one. And this time we're going to be using the shade Lagos, which is kind of a shimmery blue. So we're going to just use the flat edge of the brush. We're going to go right here where we made that connection, right where that yellow and that blue met from the, what was that color, Delta? And just work it all the way to the outside edge. And then we're going to go right along that lash line to the middle here. Same thing on the other side. And then we're going to come in right along here like that. And you can get a little bit here and hit that outside corner a little bit. Okay, then we're going to use our I think it's actually a powder brush, but we're just going to use that for getting that stuff away. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is we are going to, those are just so pretty. Let's use our brush that we used for the, what was that color? Waroba. We're going to use this one, pretty much just the tip for right now, and we're just going to blend these out here. So just a little loaded on it. And work over the area just a smidge. And now we're going to take that blue. Don't load anything on it. We're just going to use that blue and work over that area too. Okay, and I feel like that yellow may just be a little too yellow for what we're trying to do here. So she's going to show you a little cheat thing. We are going to take, well, I do have palm kernel. I think what I'm just going to take the MAC. This is the Extra Gleam Skin, what is it called? This is the highlighter that we use. The Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish. We're just going to use this to kind of diffuse the yellow just a tiny bit. So you're going to take your same brush that you were using, just use the tip and blend it in there. And it's just going to bring it down just a smidge. It'll also give it a little bit of shimmer, so it kind of balances out with all that other shimmer we got going on there. Yes, yes, I do this all the time. It just kind of, well, it'll turn a matte into a shimmer, and then it also just helps to kind of diffuse a little bit. So yes, you can use that cheat like anytime. Okay, so now we're going to add, we don't have any of the red going on yet. So I am going to use a flat brush, just a little skinny, I think this is actually a liner brush. This one is a MAC, maybe 184, 194, something like that. So we're going to use this. We're going to use the flat like this, and this is going to go in the shade Jollof. Just going to get it on that side there. We're going to go right in the corner here. Add that red there. And then we're going to use that under the eye in just a second. But for right now, let's just go ahead and get our eyeliner on, and then we'll do that as the very last step. So first I'm going to grab my NYX. This is the, well, yes, I don't have that on here. I am back to the NYX one. So this is the NYX retractable eyeliner, and this is just in the shade black. And we're going to set down an initial eyeliner on the top of the lid from the outside corner right along that lash line to the center. Same thing on the other side. I know, I always double line. I just like the way that it looks. It makes the black more black, and it makes the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner not look so sharp. Okay, so now we're going to go from the outside edge to halfway on the bottom. Just a light thin line. We just want to enhance that lower lash line, not make a black line. So yeah, just going about halfway. There we go. Okay, so now we can take that brush that we were using. This time, as opposed to the flat side we were using, now we're going to use the edge, like a liner brush. We're going to go in that Jollof, and we're going to go from the outside corner and work that to the inside corner. And then meet that color that we deposited earlier. Such a pretty pink color. Okay, make sure you have that pink on the top of the lid as far out as you want that to go. I'm going to extend that out just a smidge. I do like the shape of the tip of this one because you can pretty much just kind of put it on the tip and then just sort of set it there and it hits the shape of your eye right there. Okay, I'm gonna swipe away any fallout. Now we're gonna use our liquid liner. And again, this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. And this I store like tip down. So we're gonna go from the outside corner to the inside corner. Okay, same thing on the other side. Can any of you ambidextrously put on eyeliner? I cannot do that. Lots of no's. Okay, there's a okay, so one of you can do that. Okay, and this is just going to give us a nice even colored surface for our lashes to adhere to. So let me set all this aside here. We are going to do our mascara, and then we will put on what did I forget? We don't got any brows yet. Silly me. Okay, so whatever your brow product of choice is, this is when you'll do that. If you do not have a brow product that you love, come and see my girl Olivia, and we'll get you all fixed up with the proper shape of your brow, how to use the brow products, and the brow product that's right for you and the look that you want. So for today, because I have fashion colored hair, you know, my pink is just going like crazy today. We are going to be using, this is the NYX Jumbo. I believe this is actually a highlighter. This is the multi-use face highlighter stick, and this is in the shade Blueberry Muffin. And I like that they've made these retractable because I really hated sharpening the other ones. So we are just going to do our brow product. Whatever yours is, you'll just get that on there. Some people like to do their brows beforehand. That is true. I like to do it after. So just follow that brow. Create that shape that you want. I know I really don't have very much brow. I know. All right. If skinny brows ever come back in though, man, I am there. All right. So once you have got your brow in the shape that you want it, you are good to go. I'm still looking at that blending thinking maybe that should go up just a tad bit higher. Let me grab my blue. When you have hooded eyes, you've got so much brow happening up there. Let me just blend that out a smidge more so you can see some of that blue. When I look straight ahead, you want to be able to see that blue, not just the yellow. All right. I am loving this today. Okay, such a fun candy look. Okay, so we are going to dust that off one more time. I am going to be using a lash curler. This is from Tarte. This was a holiday edition they did a couple of years ago. So whatever lash curler you're like, love theirs though. I'm not going to do lashes today because of what I have going on for the rest of the day. So we are going to be using, this is the Monsieur Big. This is the waterproof. We are just going to curl our lashes and be good to go with that. Now I changed my mind again. We're going to use lashes. I love this area, so let's just do that. Okay, so First thing we're going to do, find your perfect sweet spot for the lash curling. So give it a little sample tweak of a push. If you can feel your eyelid pinching at all, then pull it out just a little bit. You don't want it pinching your eyelid. So we're just going to say our verse 2 times while we're doing the crimp, and then we'll turn to the other side. So find your sweet spot. There you go. And we're going to say that verse together. And go. For everything, there is a time. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Let's do that one more time. For everything, there is a time. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Okay, unclamp and go to the next one. There we go. Find your sweet spot. There we go. And go. For everything, there is a time. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Say that one more time. For everything, there is a time. Ecclesiastes 3:1. All right, and release. So that'll get your lashes a nice curl. If you have black lashes, you probably don't even need to do this step, but I don't. Mine are kind of white, so I will. So we're just going to put on a single coat of mascara just to kind of give our top lashes a little bit of color. So when we put the false lashes on there, it will blend together. I love the Monsieur waterproof because you don't have to worry about it going anywhere, but it does a good job of adding volume. So just one coat there. Switch to the other side. Try not to hit the light button for you this time. Okay, and just one pass over here. Making sure to cover all those lashes so it will blend all nicely together. Now, when I get to the bottom lashes, we'll do a nice, good, thick coat on that. But for the top ones, we're just trying to get them all to be black. There you go. Now, if you like a nice full lash, go ahead and put mascara on anyways, because that will give you a little bit better of a look for that. All right, so we are going to do our bottom lashes now. There we go. I see I had a little blue fall out there. Here we go. And while you're doing these, you're going to sweep a little bit up the underside on the tips. Make sure you take out any clunky clumps. There you go. And then let's switch to the other side. I had a friend tell me the other day that she doesn't usually put mascara on her bottom lashes. Okay, if you're one of those people, don't worry about it. Just don't. Everything in makeup is all about personal preference and the look that you want. So I'll show you how to do different things, and then you tweak it and make it how you want it to be for the look that you want. Which is why I give you like choices and the shadow colors, give you the depth of color that we're using. That way you can have it be exactly what you want, because not all of us want to look exactly the same as each other. Makeup is all about free expression and, taking advantage of the colors that God has given us. So I know I haven't done this in a while. So today what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a lash application from beginning to end. So I have the Zaria lash here, and these I've not wore these yet, so they've not been trimmed. So when you open up the box, you can see that they're on the tray like this. We are going to I love the velour lash tools. Let me show you the tools that I'm going to be using today. So first thing that I have is going to be the tweezer, the lash applicator. Love this one. Then I'm going to be using the velour lash scissors. These trim very nicely, very sharp tipped, gets in there really nice. And then the other thing that we're going to be using is going to be the velour tool. This one has, on one end, you've got the lash comb, and on the other end, you've got the spoolie for whatever you want to use it for. Okay, so we're going to start out with the lash tool. and we're going to remove the lashes. Now, this particular lash is a flare. So you can see right here, you've got shorter lashes. On the outside edge, you've got longer lashes. So start out here on the outside edge. You're going to use that lash tool to just work that lash off of that tray. Oops, sometimes that tray actually pops out of there. And then you're just going to hold that lash kind of in the middle there, right near the band. So with these lashes, you're going to, now I've done this so many times, I don't really need to do this anymore, but for you, just kind of hold the lash in place and see how long it is. So in this lash here, you can see that it's going like all the way to the inside edge and then way past the right here. So these lashes are too long for me. So I'm going to take and just trim off a little bit on the outside edge of the lash. So with this being the flared lash, we're going to do it on the fuller end here. So start out trimming off just a little bit and then do another dry fit and see if that will work for you. If you need to trim a little bit more, you can trim a little bit more. Once you trim it off though, you know, there's no coming back from that. Okay, or you could drop your lash in your lap and have to track it down. Okay, there we go. So let's trim off just a tiny bit. And that will get us the size that we need. Like I said, these are a nice sharp tool. So it will trim it off and then you're all good to go here. Also, check the inside. Every once in a while on the inside edge, there's just like a little bit of a nub here. And so you may have to trim off just that little bit of a nub because it will kind of poke you. So we're just going to make that little nub even. There we go. Set that lash down. That one is all good to go. You're going to grab the other lash using the outside edge again of the tool and hold that in the middle with the tool. There you go. And you're just going to do the same exact process that you just did. So take the lash, set it on the lid, see how much it is, look and see. You can actually set it there if you want. It doesn't have too much sticky, but, and then that'll give you an idea of how much you need to actually trim off. Once you've got that all done, you're just going to use your scissors and you are going to trim off the excess. Okay. And then we're going to check and see if there's a nub on the inside corner. This one does have just a tiny bit of one. So we're just going to clip that little nub off. There we go. And now we are all good for putting on our lash adhesive. So I'm going to be using, this is the Allure. This is the 18-hour lash glue. Really like the way this one wears. So we're going to grab our lashes, holding in the middle with that tool. Open up your lash glue. We're going to put it on the flat edge of the band. And then we're also going to put it on the inside edge of the band. And depending on how new or old, you may have to go inside and outside of the adhesive container just a little bit. Okay, once you've got that side done, just set that one down. Grab the other lash. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. Right along the top edge of that lash. And then we're going to do it on the flat side of that band on the back. Making sure that we get those outside corners really good. Corners are the one area that I have a tendency to lift and that I hear most people complaining about. Okay, so those take just a second to dry. You'll know that the adhesive is about ready to go when it goes from the super glossy, shiny look to a little bit of a dull. So that's what we're looking for here. You can speed it along just a smidge. If you will take your lash tool, here, let me get it this way. There we go. We're going to take our lash tool, hold it right there in the center, and just give it a couple of fans. That will help it to dry down a little bit faster. But typically it's about 20 to 30 seconds, and then it's good to go. So, or you could smack your microphone with it, and then you dry faster. Okay, so inside edge, remember, has the shorter lashes. I usually set them down in front of me, exactly like they're going to put on. That way I can't lose track of what side goes where. So we're going to set it right down in the middle, actually first, because these are a new pair. Go ahead and grab the outside edge of these and give it a little bit of a roll. You're literally just going like this. It's going to help the shape to loose up just a little bit. Now we'll put it on. So right there in the center, just set it down. Okay, something is sticking. Let's try this again. There you go. What are we doing here, people? If you get a little adhesive on your tool, that is what will happen. There we go. And we're going to set it in the inside corner, and then we're going to work it around to the outside. And when you very first put on a set of lashes, sometimes it takes a little convincing where you want it to be because they're new. They don't have the shape of your eye yet. The more times that you wear it, though, then it will be used to your eye shape and you'll be all good to go, and it takes less time. There we go. Yeah, these are so pretty. So you can see the difference between with the lashes, without the lashes. I mean, it makes just such a difference with the look. So now we're going to grab the center of the other one. We're going to do the same thing. Grab the outside edges, kind of roll it a little bit. Let's soften up the band. There you go. Now grab the center and put that bad boy down right there in the middle of your eye. There we go. And I try to get that as close to my lash line as possible. Really. So that you don't have a gap and everything is like seamlessly blended. You can't tell where your lash starts and stops and where the false lash starts and stops. The one thing I like about the Juvia's Place is the bands are pretty sturdy, but you get a nice like liner look, but they're essentially invisible. So, you know, and these are, the Zaria is a low volume, I believe. It might be a medium, but it's got enough to give you a look, but not so much that you got spiders on your lids. I mean, sometimes you got to just have a spider, so depends on what you're going for. All right. So now we have got our eyelashes on. We've got our mascara on. Let's just take a dust with our powder. We were working with some kind of dark colors here. So we're just going to grab our Lancôme Long Time No Shine. We're just going to work under the eye just a little bit. Make sure we didn't leave any fallout. Okay, I don't see anything. I feel like we are pretty good to go. So I am just going to grab my highlighter brush. We're going to grab that the MAC Extra Gleam. Well, anyways, you know what I'm talking about. This one. Let's just get a little highlighter back right here because we did dust a few times. Just avoid setting that where your lipstick is. All right. So the last thing that we have to do is to say our verse together. So that is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. For everything, there is a time. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Now, our final step in our makeup application is going to be the Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray. So we're going to use that. We're going to give it a couple of shakes, a couple sprays. And that is going to set that makeup look so that it doesn't go anywhere throughout the day. They do have several different kinds. depending on your skin type, your needs, and what look you're looking for. So come see me. We can discuss what look it is that you want and then figure out which setting spray is going to be best for you. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I look forward to chatting with you throughout the week on social media, or better yet, come see me at my store in Midlothian, Texas. So let's take a little bit of a review. This is episode 43, and for us, this is Happy New Year. So glad that you're here with me. Let me get over to our there we go. And let's review these verses together. See how many of these you can say while this video is scrolling along. You ready? Here we go. Okay, so how did you do? I know it is hard to believe that we have done 43 memory verses together. It has been an exciting season 1, and wait till you find out what we're going to do on season 2. So exciting. Still working on a couple things for it. Okay, so all of our verses, again, are coming from the Word and Color coloring book. So you've got the link there on for you. That is an affiliate link, so it's kind of like giving me a tip when you use that. So thank you very much. Make sure you pick up that copy, because that is going to be like your journal through season 1, and then we'll have one again for season 2. So it's kind of like a coloring journal through your entire year. So that is going to be super fun thing to do. So you can find a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus on your favorite podcast platform: Apple Podcasts, Podbeam, our YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook. You get it. All right, so let me get over here. We are going to go and turn that scrolling off, and let me send you off with a blessing today. loves scripture in song. So anytime you find a scripture, or make one and shoot me a video of it. Would love that. Okay, so the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for all the ones who have hung out with me here this morning live, for the ones who will watch this video later. Father, I just pray that you would help us to, hide your word in our heart, Father. Help us to work diligently on this memory verse this week, that we can use it to refresh ourselves and to refresh and edify those around us. Pray all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. May God bless you. Have a great rest of your week. Mwah.